In December we had a short vacation, so we took another trip to Italy. This time we decided to travel to Bologna and explore the Emilia-Romagna area. Some people say that here you will eat the best food in Italy, and we thought we should verify this theory by trying all the goodies in and around Bologna. We flew into Bologna, one of the biggest airports in Italy. I love this airport, one because it's in Italy, and two because it's so well connected to the city center. There is a fast train called the Marconi Express which takes you from the airport to the central train station in 7 minutes. 7 minutes, can you believe it? That's so fast! The Marconi Express has 2 stops and costs 11 euros. The easiest way to buy tickets is by card at these tap-and-go machines at the entrance. You will have to scan your card twice when you enter and exit the Marconi Express station, but don't worry, you will only pay once. You can also buy tickets at these machines with both cash and card. From the Bologna airport you can also take a public bus that only costs 4 euros. We've covered the buses in this video about public transportation in Bologna, make sure you check it out next. After landing, we took the Marconi Express to the train station to catch the last train to Reggio Emilia, where we spent the first night. We visited our friends there, and having locals by our side was incredibly lucky because it would have been impossible to figure out the Italian trains on our own. Something important to remember: on the regional trains you have to validate your ticket at these tiny machines or check in if you buy them online. Tourists fall into this trap all the time and end up paying costly fines. In this video right here, we've covered riding the train in Italy, including how to buy and validate the tickets, how to find your platform and more, so please watch it next if you plan to explore Italy by train. From Reggio Emilia, we took the train every day to explore the wonderful Emilia-Romagna area. Our first destination was beautiful Modena, home of Ferrari, balsamic vinegar and Luciano Pavarotti. We loved exploring the colorful streets of Modena, especially as everything was nicely decorated for Christmas. We stopped for a quick lunch near the main square and tried these delicious tigelle. This is a local specialty, basically a sandwich with all kinds of delicious fillings like cheese, prosciutto or chocolate. We also explored the stunning dome in Modena and even went up the Leaning Tower. If you ever come here, make sure you take the time to find these fossils on the steps at the entrance. By the dome, we stopped at a wine bar where we ate this delicious fried gnocco. The wonderful weather allowed us to walk through this amazing town and discover its many gorgeous streets, the statue of Pavarotti and the beautiful park of Modena. We didn't have much time to visit museums on this trip, but if you're in Modena, you can and definitely should visit the Ferrari Museum. On our trip to Modena, we went on a balsamic vinegar tasting tour at Acetaia Giusti in Quattro Ville, which is one train stop away from Modena, plus a 20-minute walk through the gorgeous Italian countryside. The visit to Acetaia Giusti was completely free and included a museum tour where we learned everything about how balsamic vinegar is made, with a tasting at the end. After this amazing experience we got very hungry, so we stopped for dinner at this wonderful pizzeria in the main square of Modena. We ordered several kinds of pizzas to share and it was a great night out. I loved all the toppings, especially the truffle salsa you could add to your pizza. At first I thought they were only different by shape, but in reality, both the ingredients and cooking methods are different and pizzas have fewer calories, which means you can eat more. Traditionally, the pizza is a dish specific to Rome, while pizza comes from Naples, but they are very similar and they're both delicious. Our second destination was beautiful Parma, home of Parmesan cheese and Parma ham. Maybe it was our timing, but we found this beautiful city to be so quiet and peaceful. There were barely any tourists, so we got to admire the cobbled streets, Christmas decorations and colorful buildings without any rush. In Parma, it is very common to eat horse meat, which for me is unusual. Our friends insisted I try it, so I caved and got these horse meatballs. They weren't terrible, but I'm glad I had also ordered this delicious pasta al ragu, because the horse meat wasn't to my taste. My husband got the lasagna, our friend got this risotto with pumpkin, and everything was heavenly. Fun fact, at the restaurants in Parma, Modena and Bologna, you are required to pay for a coperto or servizio. This is a fixed fee at restaurants and it can vary from 3 to 5 euros in this area, regardless of the value of your bill. Given this fee, tipping isn't expected, but if you are happy with the service, you can leave 1 or 2 euros extra for your server to show your appreciation. As I've mentioned in the beginning, we spent the first nights of our trip in Reggio Emilia, home of Parmigiano Reggiano and the first Italian flag. We really wanted to visit the Parmesan factory in this area, but tours were suspended as they were getting ready for Christmas, so I guess we'll have to return. Finally, we made it to Bologna, home to the oldest university in the world, and the delicious pasta bolognese, which here is just called al ragu. Bologna is said to have the best food in Italy, but there's more to this beautiful city. We admired the Fountain of Neptune, visited the Basilica di San Petronio, and explored Piazza Maggiore. Fun fact, this building right here hides a secret wireless telephone. To test it, enter the internal courtyard of the palace and you'll notice these corners. If two people whisper in opposite directions at opposite corners, they'll hear each other as if they're a lot closer. It's an acoustic effect similar to the one in Piazza del Popolo we've mentioned in this video about Rome. After exploring the center of Bologna, it was finally time for lunch, which turned out to be an amazing experience. We were incredibly lucky to get a table at Ristorante da Cesari, a place highly recommended by both locals and tourists. I had the pumpkin ravioli and my husband got the tagliatelle al ragu. Both dishes were delicious. As you can see, the portions weren't very big, so we had plenty of room for dessert. We couldn't decide on what to order for dessert and we were on vacation, so we just got them all. We finished our amazing lunch and then explored some more of this beautiful city. The narrow streets, the red buildings and the Christmas decorations made us feel like in a story. We saw the towers in Bologna from the outside as they were closed. We were amazed by the Basilica Santo Stefano, a complex of 7 churches built in different eras, all merged into one sanctuary. It was soon getting dark, so we took a bus to our hotel. We returned to the city center for dinner and weren't so lucky this time, as you need a reservation to eat, especially at the good restaurants. We managed to get a table at a later hour and walked around Bologna until our dinner at Ristorante Danello al Montegrappa. This was another great place with good reviews, and I'm so glad they squeezed us in. As a starter, we ordered frigione bolognese, a side dish made with onions and tomatoes. We ate that with their delicious bread and it was amazing. My husband got his mouth-watering risotto with mushrooms, while I once again had the tortelloni di zucca because at this point I had become obsessed with the pumpkin filling. It was late at night, so we shared the dessert, a spectacular panna cotta. It was so good, I still think about it sometimes. After a terrible breakfast at our hotel, the next morning we went back to the city center to make the most of our last hours in Bologna. We bought some souvenirs for ourselves and found a salumeria where we ate these amazing sandwiches. We walked around and slowly made our way to the airport and back home. It was an amazing vacation and I can't wait to go back to Italy. If you're getting ready for a travel to Bologna, here are some videos that might help. Enjoy your trip!